In 1987, Albert Band, working within his son Charles Band's production company Empire, directed the follow-up to the cult gremlin-like camp film Ghoulies, bringing the epic Royal Dano of classic Western TV fame, Phil Fondacaro of Willow and Troll fame, Damon Martin as the lead, and a few appearances by the mighty and seemingly entirely underutilized Sasha Jenson of Halloween 4 and various other genre romps. His most famous appearance, of course, being in Dazed and Confused. This film gives us everything I wanted from the original Ghoulies. More ghoulie screen time, violence, shenanigans, and gore. The Ghoulies have been redone. They look better, more detailed, and usually, except for some strange green screen type scenes, are depicted much better than the previous film. Before we get started, please hit that like and subscribe, as it is the only way I can grow. And without any further ado, I present for you why you should watch that mighty and epic camp genre Gremlins knockoff, Ghoulies II. We begin with our leads talking about the moon. Then we follow a priest fleeing from occultists in red robes with beater sticks. He has bagged the ghoulies and gives the occultists the slip. He then drops the ghoulies in a pit of toxic solvent before a flying ghoulie knocks him into the vat. We return to our leads, Damon Martin as Larry, and the epic Royal Dano as the drunk and over-the-top Uncle Ned. Ned is perhaps the best character in the film, and Royal Dano is most likely the best actor in the film. At least in my opinion. He is easily my favorite and acted to a near perfection. Something that is oftentimes missing from the genre. Phil Fondacaro also gives us a very well-acted and depicted performance as Sir Nigel. Both Royal Dano and Phil Fondacaro seem somewhat out of place within the film, as their performances are elevated and exceptional when compared to the other actors. And their inclusion, although masterful, does somewhat point out how terrible some of the other acting can be. And for some, the over-the-top eccentric character styles of the two may be just a bit too much to stomach. Along those lines, Sasha Jenson effectively portrays his character. His performance in no way shines, but it is good. I often wonder, as one should after seeing his epic depiction of Dawn in Dazed and Confused, just what he could have done if given the lead role in something of quality. William Butler of Night of the Living Dead 1990 Tom fame also acts fairly well, but the material he is given forces him to be somewhat silly and over the top. He is another actor whom I wonder just what he would have been capable of if the genre had given him more and better chances, as he effectively acts with Tony Todd and Patricia Tallman, and a crew of what I find to be the greatest acted characters in all of horror, in Savini's 1990 Night of the Living Dead remake. Since he was able to hold his own with such amazing performers in that work, it always makes me wonder just what he would have been capable of. From here, the Ghoulies hitch a ride with Uncle Ned and Larry in Satan's Den, their traveling carnival attraction. Of course, it is a haunted house-themed horror ride, with a torture chamber, where the Ghoulies love to hang out and utilize its ridiculous instruments of torture on their victims. Ned drinks and delivers amazing lines, is killed by Ghoulies. The Ghoulies go on a rampage of hilarious camp, leveling torture and brutality on a group of teenagers that contains the pre-mentioned William and Sasha. The company owner shows up and causes mischief by auditing the financials and offering termination for the acts that don't make enough money, and somewhat gets in the way of the camp violence and humor, until he lets it escape and falls victim to it. The Ghoulies are assumed to be part of the attraction by the carnival goers, and Satan's Den goes viral. The Ghoulies escape and cause mischief, hilarity, violence, and gore across the carnival, until Larry and Sir Nigel utilize the occult to summon a huge demon which eats all of the Ghoulies, and then goes for Nigel as his small appearance makes it assume he is a ghoulie. This is all quite hilarious, and for the genre, the assumed small budget, and the world of Ghoulies and Charles Band-fueled productions, it is done very well. Larry finds Nigel's demon suit, used in the Satan's Den act, and they arm it with a Molotov cocktail and give it to the demon, who eats it and explodes. Nigel says some actore-type lines, and the film ends with the toilet ghoulie remaining in the toilet and laughing as the credits begin. Overall, this film is likely going to be trash to what I assume is the vast majority of people. But within the camp world of ridiculous gremlin-like monsters and over-the-top hilarities of such films, for me, Ghoulies II truly shines. With ridiculous carny characters, ridiculous scenes and over-the-top situations, and always what seems to be an awareness of how silly and stupid this actually all is. The film does not take itself too seriously, while treating the plot and the subject matter very seriously, if that at all makes sense. This film exists as one of the better movies from the Charles Band library, and one of the better Empire films, and Albert Band does an effective job directing it. Most of the acting is B-budget bad, but none of it is horrible, and honestly it all works quite well, while some of the acting is actually quite grand, and attempts to thrust the movie into an entirely higher state of consciousness. While dropping anything to do with the original beyond the Ghoulies, this film is considered by many to be the weaker of the two films. However, in the eye of history, and in the eye of camp and silly ridiculous 80s over-the-topness, and especially in my eye, this is clearly the better film, and achieves everything the original could not. If you're curious, give it a shot. I would hope you would have a fair idea if you would enjoy it by now or not. If you can handle B acting mixed with quality, over-the-top character acting, and some bad good 80s effects and plot, then you may well love this film. I did not go into the specific scenes or situations much in this video. If you are interested, I made a top 10 Ghoulies video that goes much deeper into the specifics of the scenes and ridiculous happenings. I have linked it in the description and the right hand of the screen in the cards. I also have reviews and top 10s of the original film. I have new videos coming out all the time, so please hit that like and subscribe, as it is the only way I can grow. And until next time, keep sleepwalking, my friends.